Hi, this is Ryan of Happy Healthy Vegan. I remember it was several months ago, I was listening to Rich Roll's podcast. He was interviewing low-carb trainer Vinny Tortorich. And Vinny was talking about how he drinks this coffee with butter in it. I had never even heard of this concept before. Little did I know there's this thing called Bulletproof Coffee. So that's what I'm going to take a look at this episode. Its inventor, I guess, is a guy named Dave Asprey. First of all, let's just listen to what he says Bulletproof Coffee is.
I created Bulletproof Coffee because I've enjoyed coffee since I was a young man. But sometimes I'd drink coffee and I'd feel really good and then I'd crash. And then I'd feel good and I'd crash. Until eventually, for 5 long, dark years, I quit drinking coffee. The first one is butter from grass-fed cows, about 2 tablespoons. You can see this butter is a yellow color. This is because it's butter from cows that ate grass. Normal butter or margarine or some other kind of oil won't cut it. You will not get the satisfying lack of food craving effects, and you won't get the mental clarity that are possible when you do this right.
So there you go. Butter goes in the coffee. It's no joke. And did you notice his words there? How he quit coffee because it was making him go up and down because he's on his crazy drug ride. That's what coffee is, right? Caffeine is drug, and he's an addict to coffee. I mean, not picking on him. I mean, I'm just anyone who needs to have coffee in order to not be in this 5-year long dark period that he had. They're addicted to coffee. And speaking of addiction to coffee, did you notice the little things under his eyes? Let me kind of zoom in here. I noticed this with pretty much all of my low-carb friends, particularly the ones that are like Dave Asprey, hardcore coffee drinkers. It's no coincidence, that if you're not getting enough carbohydrate energy, you got to find something else. So what do? You drink coffee and you overtax your adrenal system, the system that's your fight or flight, only supposed to be used on occasion, not as a daily crutch for your daily energy. And I want to make it abundantly clear, guys, even if I'm taking a look at Dave's face here, I'm not picking on Dave, all right? I want to make that clear. That's not what we do here on Happy Healthy Vegan. This show is about logic and rationality. I'm looking at this, his what he's promoting, and what he's promoting right here, what I'm showing is a diet that's going to burn out your adrenals and give you little lines under his eyes. I didn't mention, too, Dave has spent $250,000 to $300,000 biohacking himself, doing all this stuff to make him a better superhuman, because he's apparently a quite wealthy Silicon Valley investor. And I think I look pretty good compared to him. In fact, I'm older than Dave Asprey, and I've spent pretty much $0 biohacking myself. You guys take a look. Do you see a $300,000 difference there? This guy should smoke me, guys. He should just smoke me, having all the advantages that he has. And I think he looks fairly average. In fact, if I were to see him at my basketball court and I needed to pick up a team for a pickup game, he wouldn't be one of my first picks. He just looks kind of whatever, He doesn't look particularly, athletic or super fit or anything like that. Again, I'm not hating. I'm just saying I don't see the $300,000 difference. And again, I'm older than him. If you want to see someone his own age, a fellow high carber, vegan, take a look at Jared Leto here. I think he looks amazing compared to Dave Asprey. Again, this is the difference, guys, between doing hardcore coffee and hardcore high carbs. You decide. I'm not saying anything. You just look, you decide. So Dave Asprey's whole diet is kind of like the reverse. We eat 80-10-10. 80% of our calories come from carbs, 10 each from protein and fat. He's kind of got it reversed. He's promoting like a 10% from carbs, 20% from protein, and the rest from fat. Where does he get this? This sounds like a recipe for disaster and death, right? So I looked on his website, and he includes what he says are research studies proving his diet works. This is a list of studies behind the principles of this diet. Studies, so I wanted to take a look here. And for instance, there's one here that says 80% of long-term vegans are deficient in vitamin B12, which is needed for proper mental function. So I click onto this study, and first of all, it's not even a study, it's a review of literature. Huge difference. And, well, okay, let's forget about that minor point. The greater point is that nowhere in this review of literature does it say that 80% of vegans are deficient in B12. So next, I was quite excited to check out his links showing that the China study is poor research and misinterpreted results, because I've never seen studies, just bloggers. So let's check out the science on this. Oh, first link I see here, Denise Minger. She is the blogger, you guys. You know, the one who thought she refuted the China study. If you read T. Colin Campbell's response to her, you'll see it's her lack of knowledge of how statistics and research works, because that's not her background whatsoever. She is a blogger. And the thing about bloggers, guys, that's not science. There's no peer review. There's no publishing. You just get a blog and you type in what the heck you want, and all right, so maybe he's just wanted to link to her and there's some other actual studies. No, there's Anthony Culpo, another low carb blogger, and here the Weston A. Price Foundation too is another one of his links. So it's, they're a lobbyist group for like meat. They believe there's some kind of special woo-woo property that meat or dairy possesses that makes people super healthy, some kind of X factor. Again, they're not a scientific group. It's not like research. It's not a study. It's not peer reviewed. It's just bloggers. And he goes on to link to more studies that claim that like grains are going to give you all these diseases like cancer and stuff like that, and like carbs will do that. Other things that run contrary to what seems to be standard mainstream medical advice, like Dave's also linking to studies that say we should eat tons of cholesterol and saturated fat. The more the better. They're not going to give you heart disease or anything like that. Well, what are you supposed to do when you hear this crazy, seemingly crazy contradictory advice coming from low carbers all the time? Well, our friend Bananiac here on YouTube did an interview with Dr. McDougall, and I think he sums this up quite nicely.
The public sits there and says, well, here's a guy recommending you eat meat and fish and dairy and low carb, stay away from rice, corn, potatoes, and he's got his science.
Yep.
And here you are, McDougall, and your guys, you're recommending just the opposite. Who am I supposed to believe? The father of the paleo diet, Lauren Cordain. Obese, looking sick, with Sally Fallon from Weston Price Foundation, who is a meat promoter. Fat, obviously fat. Then you go on to people like Barry Sears and Robert Atkins and William Davis, the new wheat belly guy. These people are all fat, and they look sick to me.
And you may have heard Duran Ryder say before, judge not by theory, judge by results. Look at a person who promotes a diet, be it high carb or low carb. And they've been doing it, following their diet a long time. And how do they look? What's their overall physique and appearance like? Do they look healthy? Are they fit and trim? Or are they overweight and kind of lethargic and bags under their eyes? This is what your goal is. If you're following that diet, you want the promoter to be the goal that what you can achieve. So take a look, guys. And also too, if you're suffering from lack of energy, as most of us are, most of us don't have a high carb diet. Instead of criticizing me and bagging on vegans, give it a shot, guys. What have you got to lose? And just try out eating high carb like me. I have like a 10 banana smoothie every morning. Been doing this like for 3 years. I have no desire to drink caffeine, Red Bull, coffee, none of that stuff. I have enough energy, plenty of energy naturally from my diet. And you can too, going high carb. And if you don't know, I've lost 60, 70 pounds eating this way. Carbs don't make you fat, but that's a whole nother episode entirely. So post your questions and comments down below here, guys. Are you not convinced? Are you still thinking, I might want to try now putting butter in coffee? Hopefully you're not drinking coffee because you're carved up enough. And subscribe up above on this side for more from Angie and I here at Happy Healthy Vegans. So until next time, as I keep saying here, guys, keep it carb, baby, keep it carb.
The smoke and it's gone.